Hello my friends, esteemed colleagues, dear family. Today we are going to talk about hypochloridria, or so-called disease when body doesn't produce enough stomach acid. And I was receiving quite a few letters of people asking me what to do about it, that they simply don't produce enough acid and doctors are giving them all kind of supplements, basically betaine hydrochloride, no? But also vitamin zinc and all of the other crap as supplement pushers always do. So they produce more acid. Well, let's first examine this situation. I always say that stomach acid is not something that is sitting in your stomach waiting for the food. Stomach acid is being produced as a response to incoming food. And since we are programmed to eat animal protein and fats, as soon as we put something in our mouth, the reflex, the basic program kicks in, and you start producing hydrochloric acid. And when the correct food comes in, you continue producing this acid. Now, if you eat incorrectly, then if what you put in your mouth does not require acid, then production stops and you won't produce more. Now, I was puzzled just by what are the symptoms? How do you know you don't make enough acid? And I had to actually scroll on list. I went to the experts. So, stomach acid, here I'm reading from the list, symptoms. You feel very full after you eat, even normal meals, and you still feel heavy, like you are not digesting properly, okay? Indigestion, like flatulence or burping. You feel bloated. You experience constipation or diarrhea. So which one is it? What is low stomach acid? What is it causing? It cannot cause two opposite things at the same time. Well, again, we are working, when we look at the symptoms, we are basically looking on statistics. It's not a science. It's basically when you have no clue, you reach for statistics. And this is what happens when you reach for statistics. For example, in symptoms of low stomach acid, stomach cramps, which are caused actually by inflammation. Okay? Nausea, heartburn. Your hiatus doesn't close. This is what causes heartburn. Now, if you look at these symptoms, you are going to notice that quite few of them are symptoms of dehydration, like hard stool, constipation, heartburn is there. Another symptoms here, what you notice, nausea. Well, nausea is a symptom of toxicity. It's not really of acid. So it means either you ate something toxic or your body is expulsing toxins from mucosal tissue, creating toxic mucus that settles in your stomach and gives you urge or gives you nausea and urge of vomiting. But then they say also symptoms could be seen as cause of skin problems, like bad skin, urticaria, or pimples. Well, toxic blood. Many symptoms here are related directly to toxic blood. None of them are really symptom of low stomach acid. Zero, none of them. How do you know it's a low stomach acid? Well, you have to check what is happening in your stomach. So you have to check your pH of your stomach. Here we go. If the pH of your stomach is 3 or below, you create enough acid, because we know that hydrochloric acid is extremely strong, can burn through metal, glass, can dissolve glass. You have people who eat glass. Nothing happens to them. They basically melt it. Well, if the pH is 5 and above, well, you don't produce enough hydrochloric acid. But then, of course, if you don't produce enough hydrochloric acid, bacteria can survive. So you may find bacteria. Okay, so very often when people have bad digestion, maldigestion, and problems, digestive problems, especially if ulcer shows up or chronic gastritis, well, they look at bacteria, if they can find anything. Because of course we know that it's all germ theory. It's bacteria causing problems, bacteria, fungus, or elusive virus. So if we see Bacteria pylori in there, bingo! This is causing the stuff. But also, if you find bacteria, low acid. Why? Because if it's high acid, it's going to melt bacteria. It is going to turn it into soup of amino acids and fatty acids. This is why you have hydrochloric acid. So this is a pure and clear example of the misunderstanding and of doctors not knowing the basic thing about how the body works and how it runs. Why do we have low acid? Because we are putting in our mouth something that does not require acid to digest. Though one of the recommendations of a doctor's, which I have found, if you have a low acid, you got to stimulate it with a food that has more fiber. Now, of course, when they talk about fiber, they are not thinking about fiber that is animal-based fiber. Of course, they are thinking about cellulose, because collagen will in time also be destroyed by acid. It is more resistant, takes more time, so this is why often it passes through, and we use it as fiber that will help us then evacuate. But when doctor says, well, you need to have more fiber in a food, they don't think about collagen. They are thinking about cellulose. And cellulose is non-digestible. So how can non-digestible stuff help you digest? Okay? This is idiotism. This is a pure not knowing. People ask me, well, how can I help myself if I don't want to take medication or supplements that doctor prescribes? How can I raise my acid? Start eating correctly. Now, since some of the stuff, let's say if you are constipated and you have found that your stomach is not acidic enough, well, obviously you don't have enough plasma in the circulation. You don't have enough water. Hydrochloric acid, well, acid is liquid, needs water. And it needs chlorine. It's a hydrochloric acid. Chlorine comes through salt. So you drink plasma. Drink as much plasma as you can. You will hydrate, you bring enough chlorine, and your body will produce hydrochloric acid. But again, it will produce it only on demand. So if you continue chewing on your veggies, you are not going to be producing acid. So your stomach will stay alkaline. Or not really alkaline, but very mild acidity, which will not be you will not be able to digest protein. And then yes, the actually only symptom that over here stays as a symptom of low acid is you have in a feces non-digested proteins, because your acid is crappy. You ate tons of lettuce and all kinds of vegetables with a little bit overcooked meat that could not break down by itself. Your enzymes could not penetrate, and you did not produce much of an acid because you ate veggies. Veggies don't require liquefaction with acid. Acid cannot destroy cellulose. So you cannot digest it. So body does not waste. It's very efficient. It will not waste and produce something that it doesn't need with what you are doing. So it's very simple. It's straightforward. There's absolutely, you don't need to be a nuclear physicist to discover, to see what's going on. You just have to have a little bit of knowledge, but doctors have none, because whatever they teach us in medical school is all lies. It's a bullshit science. It's not it's not truth. And this is why doctors have no freaking clue what to do, no matter what you're talking about, no matter what it's so-called disease. They don't understand the symptoms. And this is why they blame everything on inflammation. Cause of low acidity, stress. Well, yes, stress makes body to shrink, depowers it. Nothing works properly when you're under stress. But still, it is not going to minimize production of stomach acid if you eat correctly. It's all demand. Same like cholesterol. Your body will not make more or less cholesterol. It will always make amount of cholesterol required by cells. And if it's making a lot of cholesterol, well, check what is wrong with your body. Where is the problem? Why do cells require or request more cholesterol? Don't start depriving the body of cholesterol, because then you are creating really, really bad problem for a body. It has to see where to put it. And it will use the more problematic area, and less problematic will be neglected and deteriorate. You create disease by cutting down cholesterol. But this is too much for doctors to understand, because it goes against the narrative we are being given in medical school. And repeat it, constantly repeat it. Repetition. Don't trust what you see, trust what you are being told. Because authority told you this, experts told you. Who are you? You're just a freaking doctor. The experts tell you. It's all based on lies. So, I'm just trying to see what else did I see there. Well, basically that's it. Basically that's it. So, when you know what creates hydrochloric acid and how strong it could be when it is, only now the level of it. So if you eat a lot of veggies, and this is what people tend to do after they read the self-healers protocol and they know, I should eat more raw, and raw meat, okay, I don't really want it raw, so okay, so you sear it, you lightly cook it, it's fine, but then I cannot eat whole chicken, and I'm hungry, I'm frail, skinny, I want to gain weight, I cannot eat whole chicken, so I'm going to have a, I don't know, chicken breast or chicken leg, and then I'm going to make a big salad. Well, more salad you put, the more you are diluting your hydrochloric acid. You should actually not have any salad with your meat. This way you are not diluting the hydrochloric acid, and it is going to have pH of 2. It's going to be burning everything. It's going to just melt it down. And bacteria have no chance to survive. If bacteria is surviving, if Helicobacter pylori is found in your stomach, well, you are not producing enough acid because you are eating wrong. You're eating too many veggies, too many salads. Can't do this if you want to be healthy. Eliminate salads, eliminate vegetables, everything that is not meat, and then fruit separately. Don't eat fruit with your meal or right after meal. Try to leave little space, at least half hour, for all this acid to be there and to do its work. And then you can have some fruits if you want, fruit juice or whatever. But you can drink plasma before, during, and after meal, no problem. Is it going to dilute hydrochloric acid? Slightly, yes. But you are not bringing any alkalinity. So there will be plenty acid there to do its job. The problem is when we are eating plenty of vegetables. Vegetables don't require acid, so your body doesn't produce it. So you eat a little bit of meat, you produce hydrochloric acid, but again, not that huge level of it, and then you put a huge amount of vegetables in the stuff. Veggies are alkaline when you start taking them, or neutral, and they neutralize the acid. They raise the pH. And if bacteria survives, it means you could not liquefy protein of bacteria, you could not liquefy protein of the meat that you ate. It's impossible. So if you find bacteria in your stomach, this is your sign. Gotta change your diet. Not taking antibiotics to kill the bacteria. You're killing the body. It's pure poison. Simply change your diet. Or fast. But not one-day fast, not 24-hour fast. You need longer fast for this. So, best bet, correct your diet. And you will produce and hydrate correctly. Self-Healers protocol, again, same protocol. For every problem in the body that you can have, same protocol. Why? Because we are working on a cellular level. We are helping the body to hydrate, to cleanse and detoxify, and by giving the correct food to correct this acidity, alkalinity, to correct genetic expression, to reignite mitochondria that have been put dormant because of wrong diet, you start producing GCMF instead of Nagalas, and you start healing and destroying the bad stuff in your body. It's very straightforward stuff. Nothing much to think about. Anybody who watched enough of my videos and read enough articles, especially if you have read my book, The Owner's Manual for the Human Body, and this book was written, I don't know, 15 years ago, when I did not know what I know now. So there I still mentioned virus, which I did not focus on at that moment. And as soon as I start focusing more on virus, it became self-evident that it does not exist. So, don't want to waste time there. It's easy. It's so freaking easy that it's laughable. How easy it is to heal the body. Yeah, more toxic you are for a longer period of time, the more injured your tissue becomes. And then the whole cleansing and healing process becomes more complicated with more symptoms, more discomfort, and then in combination with the brainwashing we go through, and you start blaming the symptoms on the stuff that you have been told. You know, you start drinking plasma and now you are getting constipation and you are drinking, and, oh, salt is dehydrating me. Oh. Read more of my stuff, educate yourself, because this is truth. Again, yeah, truth, anybody can say so, but practice, don't trust me. Give yourself a month or two and try the protocol. Do it as it's written and you will see that your health is going to improve on every level, with the exception, of course, if you have been poisoned into a state of autoimmunity, what we are calling. This is high toxicity and destruction of a tissue already. And if you have a problem with your joints or teeth, bones, then healing is going to take more time. The pain may linger longer. But most of the other stuff get fixed much faster. I have one client who is normally blood circulation improves pretty fast, within a month, in most cases, 2 months max. But I have a client several months now, and then I noticed he eats a lot of seeds. Well, can't do that because seeds also have carbohydrate in them, plus toxins. It's a procreation material of plant. Plants guard this with toxic stuff. So we have to be pretty clean with our diet during the healing process. Later on you can cheat. But while you are healing, especially when you still have strong symptoms, until all the symptoms go away and you feel good. And even after that you feel good, it just means that your body is receiving all it needs to continue improving, so it doesn't have to alert you. So even when you feel good, just continue at least 2-3 months afterwards, and then you can start cheating occasionally, not on daily basis, and you'll be fine. Okay, my friends, thank you for listening, thank you for being here. Till next time, till someone sends me a question about something moronic again, and I'll make video debunking that stuff. Thank you for being here. Namaste.